have removed the big balance wheel on this walking foot sewing machine and put it on the servo motor. It's quieted it down somewhat, but the machine inherently is quite noisy. However, it's a lot easier to control now. As you can see. So here I am sewing plastic over top of aluminium mosquito netting. This is for a curtain that I'm So, you know, the machine itself is noisy unless you're sewing slowly, in which case it's not quite so noisy. At full speed. It's a bit of a brute, but that's okay. It is a tank. I've always called it that. The point is you want a tough machine to do stuff like this. You can see here. So I'm coating this in the plastic so that it feeds into the channels that I'm putting in place that I've created for the curtains I'm making for my sister. So I thought this is probably the cheapest type of very strong substance that will allow the slats of fabric to tilt to close off the curtain or leave them open. Imagine this is probably the least precise sewing that I normally would do, but it is all stitched. I just have to do one more. Flip this over and do this side. I would not want to be sewing this kind of sticky, plasticky, rubbery stuff from a shower curtain. On a standard machine it would stick. So this is one of the reasons for this. Okay, done. I've been having a little fun sewing denim with the Techsew 611 walking foot sewing machine. So the interesting part, I'm saying so again, oh well, the interesting part I find about this is it doesn't have the highest foot lift on earth. So it was a bit of a challenge to get this level of denim wedged under the foot. However, what you can look here is, see, this is prior to sewing, so I've sewn the right side there, but this is unstitched, so it's still very bulky. But what you can see is what comes out is very flat, so this mushes it down, which is rather good. So I'm waiting on a perfect belt to arrive. I've got this on my servo motor, so it's relatively quiet and quite controllable, but the belt is not perfectly smooth, so there's a bit of lumpiness which will happen once I get a proper belt. So I've cobbled together a belt, but you can see the join here makes noise, so it's not as smooth as it should be. But this works very well for sewing denim. I was surprised. I didn't think it would do as nicely on this. And it's very easy since it's doing all the work of crushing down the collar band. So I'm rather enjoying this more than when I set out. I thought this probably won't be a very nice experience compared to some of my other machines, but it is absolutely working, and it's a lot quieter than on the standard motor which comes with it. And even more surprisingly, I can control this quite well with a single hand. It'll become a little difficult in a moment because all the fabric is wedging up under there, but because it's a walking foot machine, it's doing a lot of the work for me, so I don't have to be involved, which is surprisingly nice. So the hard part is coming up where I have to round the end. So as you can see, it's not super fast, but that's not what I'm aiming for here. What I'm aiming for is the control. So now what I need to do is lift the foot, pivot it around slightly so I can start sewing on the bend. This will probably be a stitch at a time to achieve this with perfection. That's okay, because of this super slow control, it's quite easy to do. So I've lifted that up again to spin it around a bit more, and there we go. So I do have to admit, I wouldn't normally expect to sew at this speed. However, it does come in handy from time to time, where I can literally tell the machine what to do. Of course, it does have super punching power, but I don't really need that for denim. We'll just tie off the stitches here. Reverse. So I must admit, I really am enjoying sewing this heavy denim on here. It crushed that down, which is really nice, because that's otherwise very difficult. Interesting. Do any of you like super slow control? Well, with the servo motor and the reducing gears and the monster wheel, it's pretty easy to sew a stitch at a time. But you can also speed it up a bit. But it is great to have that kind of control. Don't need the power that this also provides at the moment for this project, but it does enable me to do really controlled stitch at a time, which is nice in certain instances. You see it has no trouble jumping over the humps either of thick seams, which is very good. And when you want to pull the thread out, you just pump it a bit until the hook releases and then pull it out without any bother. I thought it'd be fun to show you this climbing up some thick fabric. It's not the thickest seam I've sewn on this particular project, but it's basically going to be going from 2 layers of denim to 8 layers. So 2, then 4, then 6, then up to 8, and it's just going to hop up this, and it's heavy duty denim as well. So I've got a pin in the way which I have to remove because so you'll see it's starting to now approach the hump. I'm going to go one more before I pull out the pin. Okay, so I've left the needle down. Oops, pull out the pin. That's not going to work because it pulled the head off. That's the problem. The weight of this is pretty impressive. So we'll just have to sacrifice that pin. You can see it just climbed up there without any problem. And lock the needle down, so we'll pull that one out. And then off we go again. And now we're going to be coming down the hump. Finish the hump. Now we'll just finish sewing up the rest of this cuff. Seam locked in. There we are. Should be disengaged now. Oops, ran out of bobbin thread. Yay! Oh well, I shall deal with that in a second.